Well, now, do this if you are the firstborn just to avoid what we call the financial shame. By the way, you guys, do you know that, have you ever seen this kind of a situation whereby you find firstborn get even to be mistreated, or even you find some of your siblings who are even younger, or even sometimes the lastborn don't even respect you? Why? Because they probably got money, or they're wealthy, they're financially stable, and you are not. And usually feel like, oh my goodness, I'm the firstborn, especially if you come from Africa, because the firstborn is really a big deal. Because obviously you're the one who is supposed to wear the shoes of the, the management of the home, assuming if your parents are growing older or if they're not there. And then here you are. And obviously the era that you're living in is that if you do not have the financial muscle, even telling people anything, you cannot tell people anything. All right. So the point is this: if you don't want to get yourself in that kind of a shame, all right, this is what I want you to do. Because I have come to realize one thing: firstborn are likely to develop what we call the anxiety, things to do with called the depression, because a lot of people are depending on you. Maybe you work outside the country, and then it has reached to a point whereby almost everyone relies on you. Your brothers, your sisters, your father, your mother, your uncles, your aunties, and what have you. To a point whereby you even drain all your coffers. You don't even have anything in your coffers left that you can be able to grow yourself. Even your kids themselves, they don't even get the quality, be it the education or the lifestyle. Okay, this is what you're supposed to do. I'm not telling you to go ahead and deny the responsibility that you have as a firstborn. Go ahead and carry all those responsibilities. For God's sake, those are your responsibilities that you cannot shake them off. Okay, now what you do, try to find what we call the balance. Though it's a very delicate balance, and you need to have somebody, or you need to be a very intellectual person to understand this delicate balance between you helping them and also making sure that you're putting your life in order. Otherwise, if you just do one thing overly and forget the other, that way you might get yourself into a problem. For example, say you receive a call from home. Hey, hello, good morning, good afternoon, whatever the time. I would like you to help me with 5,000 because so and so and so needs so and so and so. Fine, no problem. Let's say you even have the capacity. Well, not a capacity to sort of give them at any and every given time. So what you do is this: negotiate yourself along the way. Why? You still need to retain the respect. Tell them, okay, fine, you're looking for 5,000. Amazing. Fine. So first of all, find out what the justification of the 5,000 that they're looking for. And then in that process, ask them, well, sure, I'm really delighted to help you, but unfortunately or fortunately, I only have 3,000. Do you have a place where maybe you can get a top up of the 2,000 and do the same? They say yes. Probably they're gonna say yes, because they cannot say, hey, I don't have anything. Probably they're also gonna say yes most of the time. So if they, instead of you sending them the 5,000, send them the 2,000 or the 3,000. Sometimes you can even send them 1,000. Depends with where you are in terms of the finance. Now, after sending them the 2,000 or the 3,000, now ask yourself, what if I was the good boy or the good guy that I was before? I could have sent the 5,000. Now go ahead and tell you, now reprogram yourself and be like this. Okay, fine. I've sent them the 3,000. I'm remaining with 2,000, assuming I could have sent the entire amount of money. Take the 2,000, put it in an MMF, put it in an investment, put it in shares, put it in stocks, however you guys call it. Continuously do that. By the way, do you know one thing? You'll be shocked if I tell you these statistics. If we invest the same rate at which we usually send money back to our homes and helping our friends and whatever, we're going to achieve the financial freedom way early than we even thought. That's a reality. So what you're supposed to do is this: the moment you actually offer a hand to them, it's also good to make sure that at least you do something for yourself. You invest for yourself. Continuously, if you grow that character, if you take it to a certain level, you're going to realize one thing: you're not only helping them, but at the same time, you are also helping yourself. And that is one way how you can actually go ahead and be able to cash, or be able to sort of, filter yourself, cover yourself from the shame that usually comes in when you grow old. You do not have the money, your last born has more than you are. And nowadays, by the way, people respect money, or rather people respect people based on what they have in terms of the monetary value and all those kind of things. So this issue of you guys being there, by the way, I had a client who called me and told me, Joseph, hey, guess what? Home is draining me. It's draining me in the sense of, like, I'm actually educating my sister's kids, I'm educating my brothers, I'm actually supporting my parents. Some of my parents are actually on medication. I'm the guy who does everything. And by the way, that's a very genuine, I don't want to call it complaint, but it's just a thing, sort of a nuisance or something of sort. And the way I listened to that guy, actually that guy needed some sort of a counseling beyond the financial counseling. That guy needed some sort of a counseling, some sort of a mental health, a psychological kind of a support and something of sort. Because the guy was in a situation whereby he was telling me, hey, I started a project that up to date I have never finished. That project is actually at the lentil. I don't know whether you know the lentil before you do the roofing and what have you, okay, for the sake of ladies who maybe don't know about much about the construction. So anyway, the point is this, is that you find this guy has never even continued the project. You find like, he asking me, what exactly can I be able to do? I do not know where I should start. And by the way, the kind of a relationship that I've established with them, if I dare tell them no, it's gonna create more of an enmity. Let me tell you one secret about life, okay? One thing I came to realize with life of the finances is this: the moment you give somebody the money or something at the first time, they are so grateful. They tell you, thank you very much, you're so grateful, I mean, you're so good, wow, thank blah blah blah. They can even tell you anything and everything. All right. Then when you give them the first, second time, they're same grateful and whatever, but their gratitude keep on reducing. The more you give them, to a point whereby they even forget. And I've ever made a video about this. They even forget that, hey, you're no longer helping them. You're no longer sort of like giving them. They feel or they think like now it's their responsibility. For example, they do this. Okay. Maybe you have a sister or a brother that you're supporting, maybe to pay the house rent. Okay. Do you know there's a time where it reaches, maybe for the time now you're paying them, or maybe you're supporting for the 10th time. It comes to a point whereby you are now, that's what you're helping them, it's now in the year budget. It's now in the year budget, it's no longer your will. It is the year right. And for example, if they expect you to send them that cash maybe by 10th, and if you don't, guess what happens? They send you a text, they ask you, hey, what happens? I know, I want this and this and that. They kind of switched off. They switched off from them thinking, oh, hey, what if my brother today doesn't send this cash? How exactly can I pay my house rent? If he sends me the 10K, how exactly can I do? How can I jog my mind to create this 10 so that I'm able to survive by myself? So what you're supposed to do is this. When you're helping them, in between the first and the second help, in between, offer them with what we call the hard talk, the hard conversation. Sometimes it's good to scrutinize. What exactly do they do with their cash? How much do they earn? Who do they go? How do they carry their things? And all those kind of things. So when you put them in consideration, then you can be able to determine, hey, this person whom I'm helping is actually someone who is worth being helped because they do the best for sake of helping themselves. Or, hey, this person that I'm helping, he's actually or she's actually suffering from what we call the financial literacy. They need my support. They need my help. They need me taking them through for I'm telling them, hey, this is how you organize yourself. You can start an entrepreneur, you can start an enterprise, you can be able to do something for the sake of growing yourself. So if you do not actually carry them, if you do not support them in this regard, then we Africans, because probably if you're from the West, you may not understand what I'm talking about. But if you're from Africa, you can understand sometimes our family members can become a bit of a problem when it comes to you achieving the financial freedom along the way. So if you cannot shake them off, for God's sake, those are your family members. You do not have any. Well, probably, and not even probably, I may not be able to become your brother and become your brother or your sister or whatever the thing. But the point is this: it is good to make sure that at least, as much as you are supporting the emotional part, because you loving them being your brothers and sisters, them being your parents, it's more of an emotional part more than the logical part. So it is good when you feed those two baskets. There is a basket of the emotions and there is a basket of the logical. So the moment you do that, you're going to be able to grow old, not only a person who actually maintained the respect amongst your siblings as a firstborn, but at the same time, you actually have something that you can tell people, don't do this, because if you do this, this will be the repercussions along the way. And again, the other thing that I can tell you as I finish this video, it is good to make sure that along the way, teach them how to invest. If you come here and watch these videos and learn something about investment, don't keep it by yourself. Sometimes it's good to organize these, I don't want to call them seminars, but I should call them sort of like, okay? When you sit them down, you tell them, hey, if you get this amount of money, you're not supposed to squander everything. Take that amount of money, go invest somewhere. Take this amount of money, go do something. This is how you grow yourself. If you come here and learn something about money market fund, if you come here and learn something about shares, treasury bills and treasury bonds, take that information, draw them closer, feed them that information. Or if maybe you find like, hey, you can actually tag them along the way, bring them here, they watch, they learn, and learn to be an individual who is actually, what do we call it? You're an individual. I don't want to call it hard talk because that one I discussed from the previous video that you actually guys are watching right now. But the point is this: it is good to make sure that at least to incorporate that what we call the conversation that is not only helping you but also helping them. Because if you do not empower them, if you do not show them the way, they're gonna be, sort of relying on you throughout their times, and that is when you got yourself, or you can get yourself into lots of problems. and that is a thing that I wouldn't you love to get yourself into. Anyway, that marks the end of my video, but never forget, this channel of mine, I do post a video each and every day, and if you don't want to miss any of my good videos, go ahead and hit that like button. Go ahead and make sure that at least you subscribe to this channel, because you're gonna be notified anytime and every time I upload a new good video. And don't forget this, if you would like to have a conversation with me, my number is always on the description of this specific video. You can go grab that number, give me a call, let's talk about business, let's talk about investment for just a cup of coffee's price. And again, for now, go ahead, share this video if you're in a position to. That way we can be able to help each other, and that is exactly how we grow to the next level. That I thought is quite much important that I make this video. This video, actually, I was told by some of you to go ahead and make this video so that at least you can be able to learn something at the end of the day. For now, it's a goodbye, and see you in the next one.